Good morning, this is Tom Aspray with the Viper Report. This is the market wrap video for the week ending July 15th. Let's look at some charts first. Let's look first at the daily chart of the futures. We had a sell signal at the start of the week here. It never really materialized. We're a little underwater here with the new stop here at 38.70. Not far below, or not far above where we closed at 38.66.75. That's the level we're going to be watching next week. You can see, based on the option activity, the expected move for next week is 39.92.22, and expected move in the downside 38.18.78. The 20-day here has turned up slightly, so that's why it's blue here. Stochastic confirmer, is still negative, but actually it's bullish on the weekly. So sort of a mixed bag here. Let's look at the 260. It was a good week for trading in the 260. Turned negative right at the start of the week here, and made our first target here, and then got stopped at the other target for a 5% gain. So that's kind of a net of around 50 points. The buy here was quickly reversed for sell, so we gave back that 50 points basically. And the rest of the week was pretty good. We made our first target at 37.73, then at 37.46. For 47 points on the first level, 77 points on the last level. It flipped back to positive at the end of the day on Thursday. The opening level was about 38.02.75. After the close Thursday evening East Coast time, there was plenty of opportunity, about 38.01 or so, and before the open, actually even lower than that, back down to 37.80. Finished strong, so that's we have a nice open profit on that position. Our first target is 38.90.89, and second at 39.35 and change. The stop we're going to be using for Sunday session is at 37.91.19. The OBV here looks quite strong. It's above its longer term moving average. The OBV looks, and volume numbers look quite good on this last rally. Stochastic confirmer is bullish on the 260, and as I noted previously, it's still negative on the daily. So we haven't got up into really overbought levels yet. Certainly that could happen early in the week. Let's look at some other market charts. We have the SPY, gapped higher on Friday to close strong, up 1.9%. Still, it's just barely above the 20-day EMA. The 50-day is around 391.39, so that corresponds pretty much to these twin peaks. S&P 500 AD line has turned up nicely, still below its moving average, and more importantly below these peaks here, which is the next key resistance level. The weakest of the AD lines is the stocks only. You can see make convincing new lows here. And it's in a clear downtrend here, whereas the NYSC all is looking a little bit better here. It has to also overcome these prior two peaks. Let's look at this at a little close-up view. I think you'll see what I mean. You can see the NYSC made a new low, correction low on Thursday. That's not the case with the NYSC all AD line. Shows slightly higher lows, and you can see this resistance level here. If we can break through that, then we got to overcome this uptrend and this resistance in here. So there's some work to say a trending move to the upside is underway. Though Friday's action was encouraging, the breadth numbers were pretty good. As I mentioned last week, there were signs from the both Nasdaq Composite and the The QQQs were doing a little better. This is a chart of the composite. You can see it didn't drop below those lows. New highs in the composite picked up to the best level all month. Still in a downward trend. New lows, were not very exciting, but they weren't that negative either. There were some interesting signals from the McClellan Oscillator. This first one here is the McClellan Oscillator based on the stocks only. So you can see this was a fractionally lower low here. Positive levels in the McClellan Oscillator stocks only. All shows an uptrend. Both show uptrends were turned. Of course, you really need to get above, these resistance levels here, to turn the short-term trend a little more interesting. So that's what we'll be watching next week. This could be an interesting week for the QQQs, the Nasdaq 100. You can see this support line is held, closed back above the 20-day moving average. A potentially positive formation. We'd broken the downtrend here. This is the Nasdaq 100 AD line, this line B. Popped above it about a week ago, pulled back to its moving average. Now we're trying to turn up. So if we can move above this, that's a good sign. Below here we have the relative performance. It suggests that the Qs are starting to lead the SPY, but you really need a strong move above this resistance line C and this previous peak to signal it's a market leader. That'd be positive for growth and suggest that the growth value ratio was going to be higher next week. There's a bunch of data on housing next week. Home Builders Index on Monday, housing starts, building permits, existing home sales, and then we get global manufacturing and the LAI towards the end of the week, along with the Philly Fed. So stay tuned. We'll be sending out the weekly Doji report to subscribers on Sunday, and hope you enjoyed a good week of trading. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you'd like to get one every weekend, including my up-to-date analysis, I hope you'll consider signing up for at least a month of the Viper Daily Alert Service. If you go to theviperreport.com and you can click on this Viper Hot Stocks Daily Alert, it'll tell you all about the service and everything you get. And it'll also show you that we have a special 3-month trial for $150. That's just $50 a month. If you happen to be a Viper Hot Stocks or ETF subscriber, you can get a 1-month subscription for just $50. Sign up for a month at $65 and we'll refund $15. Look forward to having you join us, and thank you for tuning in.